Belina Show. I'm sad. Final hour. I'm not sad. We're going to get to hang out with Rusty Burson, Aggie Historian and Author. The Louie Belina Show inside the Charles Schwab studio. Let's hang out with Rusty Burson. Brother, what are you up to?
Multitasking, Lou. Always multitasking. I've got my phone set up here with the Rangers and Yankees going on, and getaway day, and then I've got work here and talking baseball with you. Hopefully to talk about Aggie Baseball, and so just multitasking.
Correct me if I'm wrong. If the Rangers get the dub today, they win the series.
They would win the series, and I would really think it would be a huge win to get a split in the series with the Yankees, go 3-3. So it's tied up 1-1 now.
Top of five?
Top of five, I think. Yeah, Rangers got a man on, nobody out. So keeping up with that. Got my little workout in while I was listening to the game, so I always try to get that done before I talk to you. So, like I said, just juggling and having a good time.
Remember something. If the Astros can win a series against the Yankees, the Rangers better.
Yeah. Did the Astros beat 2 out of 3 of the Yankees? Did they already?
I say that. As soon as I said that, I think maybe because...
I think the Astros took one because at one point before yesterday, the Yankees had won 15 out of 17, and the 2 losses were one to Houston and one to the Rangers.
You'd think I would remember because there's so few series the Astros have won. So you'd think you would stand out and be unique right now. But hold on, I'm looking back here. Wasn't the Guardians? Nope. They lost to the Guardians the game 1 and game 2. All right. No, they took 2 out of 3 from the Guardians. Where's the one?
Yeah.
So they did beat the Guardians. That was a shocker. They lost the series to Baltimore. Oh, Boston. There we go. I get all the East Coast teams confused. It was Boston. Woo!
Don't confuse the Red Sox and the Yankees because their fan bases would not like that at all.
Wouldn't it be awesome to piss off both fans bases at the same time? They could unite in their hatred for me.
Yeah. The thing about the Yankees is there are a lot of guys in there, that's kind of unfamiliar, and they're missing their 2 best pitchers right now, and they're crushing it. I mean, they're pretty amazing, when you think that Garrett Cole is out. I mean, he hasn't pitched. Stanton's out, and they're doing this. They're pretty impressive. I hate them, but they're pretty impressive.
All right, Rusty, you can hate the Astros all that you want. But come on, there is an absurdity to the injuries that are happening this year because we're in the first week of May.
Oh, yeah.
They now 16 players, well, 15. And this week, Yanier Diaz out on the IL, BP injury. Carlos Correa out for the year, BP injury. That's Tuesday. Monday was Diaz. Tuesday was Correa for the year. And then Wednesday, Lance McCullers loses his fingertip. Or fingernail or something absurd like that. And he stayed in, but he couldn't throw his curveball because he had no fingertip.
So I woke up yesterday, and I subscribe to the Dallas Morning News, and so I on my phone. And so I woke up, and I was like, God gummit, Wyatt Langford to miss the rest of May. And then a little bit later, I got an alert that Correa was out for the year. I was like, well, that could be a lot worse. So
perspective
is right. It's like... I guess I'd much rather do a month without, Wyatt Langford than the rest of the year without one of the best shortstops and best hitting shortstops for sure.
Yeah. The Astros are on pace to set the all-time record. And I mean, not just, they'll break it in August for most walks in a season by a Major League Baseball staff.
Oh, my gosh. Yes. Hey, when it rains, it pours. And I've got a lot of Astros friends that I was talking to, and I was like, still, Jordan is worth watching. I mean, even if it's tough to watch everything else, just that guy's a beast. I mean, he's kind of having an MVP season already. I mean, and I don't know. It's going to be a point in time why do you pitch to him? Because you're not going to take a chance on pitching to anybody else, right?
Because you have an 8-run lead?
Yeah, I guess you're right. I mean, I flipped it over there last night, and the Dodgers were up 12-2. So I guess you can pitch to anybody with that kind of lead.
When there's no jeopardy?
Yeah.
When there's no threat, that's actually how you get to let pitchers learn. You know what I mean? On a series level, that's developmental. Take your shot at Jordan. See if you could survive. It might hurt your ERA, but it's not gonna hit your win-loss record.
The funny thing is that the Rangers have been so mediocre. They're 17-19, and that means they're tied in second place right now with the Mariners and came back of the A's. So, I mean, if one of these teams gets hot, and then you don't have to get hot for very long to be in first place.
Yeah, you mentioned Jordan MVP. We're now like May 5th or whatever. CBSSports.com was doing, like the two bold predictions, not even bold, but two bold. And the question was, will someone hit 60 home runs this year? We had Cal Raleigh last year.
Right.
There's 5 players that hit 12 home runs in the month of May. Jordan, I thought he was special, and he is, as long as he's healthy. 5 players hit 12 homers. So you got 5 players that are on pace to hit well over 60.
Yeah, and as much as I want to dislike him, Aaron Judge he's something else, man. I mean, he's just, when he's so big and so athletic, and he's just a generational player. I think that's the thing that you kind of have to step back in time. A lot of times we think about, the Babe Ruth and DiMaggio's and the greats in the past, but I think we're at a time is like, I mean, is Shohei Ohtani the best player ever? I mean, possible. I mean, and we're watching him, right? I mean, as far as what he does, and is Aaron Judge, I mean, one of the greatest power hitters of all time? Maybe. Mike Trout is back playing well, and for many years I've said he was the best player in baseball, but it's just, you kind of got to step back and appreciate, like, we're watching some really good players in a really good time.
There's no doubt. Look, and the why is simple. The technology, the training, the personal trainers in the offseason. These guys are doing the work that's required. If people want to be skeptical and you want to say the designer drugs have never been better, I don't care the why. It still makes it true that they are more elite as athletes than ever before. Look, they start off doing the year-round playing with travel club teams. The upbringing, without a doubt, they're the best athletes they've ever been.
Yeah, they're not smoking a bunch of cigarettes right before the game and drinking, 12-pack the night before the game. I mean, and quite frankly, that's the way these clubhouses used to be. I mean, I remember the stories of, my uncle covering some of those Rangers clubhouses, and, there was smoke-filled rooms from all the players after the game, and they all had the beers were all there on ice for all the players, and now those beers have been replaced by protein shakes, and they're in very healthy buffets. They had fried chicken after the game, fried chicken and beer and cigarettes. So,
that's the life, though, man. Come on, fried chicken, cigarettes, not cigarettes, fried chicken, beer, and for me a cigar, right? I mean, come on.
The difference, though, is you do that every night versus what they're doing now, and the health benefits, and we're seeing some super athletes, right? I mean, that's the bottom line. It's so much more. There's so much more money to be made, and even some of the star players. I mean, the really good players had to get off-season jobs back in the 70s.
Oh, that's true. I mean, players used to not be able to, like football, I think it was, they couldn't report to the fall camps on time because their boss wouldn't let them off.
Right, exactly right. So it's changed dramatically. There's some records, I think we've talked about that before, some records that will just never be broken. I mean, I can't ever imagine somebody hitting 400 because the specialty pitchers, right? I mean, back in the 40s and 50s, I mean, starters usually went 7-8 innings or in finished games a lot of times. And so you got to see the same pitcher, 4 times. No one's ever going to hit 56 games in a row, right? I mean, they're not going to have that hitting streak because they're not going to get the opportunity to face a guy for the 4th time or even a 5th time in a game, right?
Well, nowadays it's almost third time through analytics. You kind of get 5 innings now, and 5 innings is 15 outs?
Yeah, and that was fun for me last night watching Evaldi go 8 innings. And
oh, yeah.
He went 8 innings, 100 pitches even. And, that's almost unheard of, right?
No, that is, yes. I saw that, by the way, this morning. I like to check out everything. I saw Evaldi went 8, and I'm like, wait a minute.
And the 8th inning was pouring rain. And it was like, I don't see how those guys maintain their grip in the rain like that. And yeah, they're getting a fresh baseball quite a bit, but I don't know. It's pretty impressive when they're those guys can, pinpoint location when it's pouring rain.
Or the umpire said, "Don't worry about it. We all want to get out of here."
Yeah, exactly. They don't want to delay the thing. They don't want to put a rain delay at that point in the game. It's like 6-1. Let's get this thing over with.
Well, not a doubt. So yeah, I've accepted. This is not the Astros' year. When I look at this week, 2 players went down in BP and one lost his fingernail. Come on. If that's not the baseball gods laughing at you. So all I got left, and I'm warning you right now, Rusty, is the boot. So when the series comes around, I don't know if we can talk. Okay, we can talk, but be careful, okay? I'm going to be a little bit testy. All I got left is the boot.
Yeah, well, I think it's going to be an interesting boot series. That's for sure. I don't know which one of these teams is. The Rangers, all they could do is the first night they played the Yankees, they scored 3 runs in the first inning, and I guess a really good young pitcher for the Yankees, and you got DeGrom on the mound, right? So it's 3-0, and it's 3-3 after 2, and then they don't do anything. They load the bases 4 times, and they get 1 run on a sac fly. That's it, in 4 bases loaded. It's just like, are you freaking kidding me? Just a base hit every once in a while. That'd be really, really nice. But hey, it's a long season, so these things have a way of evening out. And I'm looking forward to the boot.
Do you want me to scare you? Do you want me to scare you?
Sure.
This is how bad the Astros pitching is right now. They started the year on a 6-man rotation. They obviously don't have 6 pitchers. They're on a 5-man rotation. 2 of them are bullpen games.
Oh, gosh.
And it's true. And they are blowing their bullpen out, and it's May 7th. Do you realize what the pitching staff's going to look like come July 17th? Now, they're going to get Hunter Brown back, but they're not going to have Lance McCullers. Their bullpen is going to be so devastated by midsummer, they're going to be doing 2 bullpen games a week with single A relievers.
Yeah, and the problem for both the Astros and the Rangers is the farm systems are they're non-existent. I mean, they've traded everybody. For the windows to stay open a little bit, and I mean, they're going to be when this window totally closes, and it's going to be rough for both of them.
Well, okay. When Jim Crane finally sells the Astros, we'll be back, because as long as he wants to control the front office decisions, it won't matter what direction the Astros have to go. At one point, they had the best major league roster and the 3rd best minor league roster, and that's when he was too busy being happy to be an owner to get involved. Yeah,
I had lunch the other day with a guy from California originally, and he played baseball out in California, got his master's at A&M, and so we were talking, and he said he was a lifelong Angels fan. And I said, oh, my gosh, I really do feel sorry for you. I mean, you could say the A's, but, the A's, no one ever expects anything from the A's. The Angels, if you think about what they had the 2 best players maybe ever on the same team, and they never even made the playoffs. And now they've got one of the best pitchers in baseball, and they're terrible. And it's just, at this point, I think for Mike Trout's, sanity, don't you think he should be traded somewhere?
If he asked, they would. I honestly think it's on him. I don't think the Angels sit there and go, sorry, dude, we own you. I think it's on him.
Man, I guess, part of me is like, yeah, I'd love to see a guy, first-class guy like that stay with one team for forever. But on the other hand, I'd also like to see a guy, get a chance to play in the playoffs. Because he's been so good for so long. And right now, I know he could be injured at any point because as he get older, he's been injured so many times. But right now, he's playing really, really well. And so, I don't know, just love to see him get a chance to play in the playoffs. There's a lot of guys like that, right? That have had long-time careers, and I'd love to see them actually get a chance.
That wouldn't be the most surprised if he got traded at the deadline this year. If he could prove he stays healthy all the way through the actual trade deadline and not just 1 month, sure. And the Angels could get a small fortune for. They get an entire minor league system for him.
Well, if they traded Soriano too, I mean, he's 5-2, but he's got a 1.74 ERA. I mean, they could remake their whole farm system with 2 trades.
Oh yeah, but Soriano, would you trade for him? Isn't that a fool's gold? Where you know that he's not going to keep it up over the second half. Like, that's not real.
Yeah, I mean, you're right, but I mean, there's no better time if you're the Angels to trade him, right?
If anybody would have called me over the past 2 weeks, I'd have sold him so fast.
Well, right now you could probably get a killing for him too.
Right? That's the thing. What is it? Sell high, buy low. I mean, if I'm the Angels, someone wants Soriano, and they're willing to pay 90% of his current value, which is like what? Best pitcher in baseball value? Yeah, absolutely. Because it's the Angels. I'm being clear here. It's the Angels. They're going nowhere for the next 4 years.
Or for the next 20 years. Who knows? I mean,
I'm trying to be kind.
Well, again, I felt sorry for that guy. I was like, you're an Angels fan? Really? It's like, at least I've had that one. I've always got 2023. And the Astros, they've got this incredible run here. And so even if you see it going away, you'll always have. They were a dynasty. And so, with the Angels, though, I mean, that's just a terrible, terrible organization.
Okay. Quick question. We got to take a time out, but what's the worst run professional team in North America? So NFL, NBA, NHL, MLB, because you mentioned the Angels, man, and I know they're in the running. And it's weird. They're not the worst. Like, they do things for their fans, and they don't mistreat their players, but the way they're professionally run is so horrible.
Yeah. Well, the first team that comes to mind are the Browns. I mean, I guess that's the first team. I mean, because, there's a lot to hate about the Rays, but, I mean, look how good they're playing, and they always produce young players. Same thing with the A's.
They contend at least sometimes.
Yeah, and, I mean, the Marlins, right now, they're really, really bad, but, I mean, they did win a World Series in my lifetime, so, I mean, I don't know. I just think the Browns, they've never been to the Super Bowl. They're just, doesn't matter who they bring in. It's where guys go. That's why I was kind of disappointed to see Casey Concepcion get drafted by the Browns. Like, well,
yeah, I know.
Of all the places you could go.
Jets?
Jets are really bad. Yeah, I mean, they haven't been to the Super Bowl since Joe Namath, so that's been a long time. I mean, that's a really long time. I'm hopeful that the Jets can be good just because I want Aaron Glenn to succeed. But I don't know if I was Aaron Glenn, if I'd really want to take that job, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You know what? No one else was going to offer him. He had to take it, but what a bum deal.
Yeah, I really like Aaron Glenn. I just really hope he's successful there. So I'm going to stick with the Browns and with a real close second to the Marlins.
Yeah, Kurt Martin. Yeah, Marlins won a World Series, played in a World Series. They had that little stretch with Jeffrey Lurie or something.
Yep.
Was the owner, and then they didn't even celebrate 3 days, and he tore the whole thing.
One of the worst trades ever is they traded a guy named Miguel Cabrera for just like spare parts. I mean, it's just. Fortunately for them, Miguel Cabrera didn't do anything to Detroit, just win Triple Crowns and stuff like that.
That's all. Hey, quick timeout, come back. Let's talk that Aggie baseball next.
Let's do it.
Rusty Burson, Aggie historian and author, joins us on the D4 Land Services Thursdays here on The Zone.
Home, on the road, or Omaha. You can hear Aggie Baseball on The Zone.
The Louie Bellina Show. Thursday. Yeah, calendar ability skills. Louie Bellina Show inside the Charles Schwab studio. I am. Support for you comes from Mark Sim at the Charles Schwab branch in College Station. What kind of support? You might be like, huh? Financial. Your financial now, your financial future. With Charles Schwab, they offer a modern approach to wealth management. They have the financial planning to meet, your specific needs. Why did you call them? But also, Charles Schwab, which means Mark Sim, they have the flexibility to adapt as those needs change with time, and they will in ways you've never managed, but for them, been there, done that. They're ready. Learn more at schwab.com/financial. College Station. Joined again, Rusty Burson, Aggie Historian and Author. Rusty, don't know if you heard the news, but we have a pitching rotation change for the weekend. Ethan Darden will start Friday. Aiden Sims stays Saturday. TBA, TBD. They've owned Sundays.
I like it. I think it's about time. I think Sadeo out of the pen's got to take the pressure off the guy because last week he was just really, really bad. Didn't get an out in the second inning. Gave up 6 runs, and it's just not good. And so hopefully, if you can, here's the bottom line, Lou. There's no way I'd want him starting on a Friday night in the postseason. I don't want him starting the first game of a regional or super regional. So I think that I salute them for shaking things up. I really like it.
It's doing the same thing again, expecting different results is what?
Correct. Yeah, it's the definition of insanity.
And it's time to find out if he can be an All-American closer. Throw out your worst pitch. Think you're only getting 6 outs. Throw every pitch like your last, the thing that relievers do. Because you need to find out if he has other value for you. It's not like you pull him out and you never see him again. So time is running out to find out what can and can't happen.
Right. Yeah, I agree. It's time. If not, maybe a little too late. So, I think Mike Early deserves a lot of credit for shaking things up now. Because, like you said, if it just keep on doing the same thing, why do you expect anything different?
No, exactly. And again, will Darden be an opener for Sadeo? 2-3 innings? Is this a locked-in thing? Or are they going to play it by ear? We don't 100% know the dead exact way all this stuff's actually going to play out, do we? Yeah,
Darden's he's appeared in 20 games. But he's only pitched 25 innings. So, he's not a guy.
Well, he started 11 games at Clemson last year. This guy's got experience.
Well, yeah, and so I don't think you go into saying, "Hey, he's a one-inning pitcher." You see it happening. I guess it all depends on how things are going, right? If he's struggling in the third inning, then I think you pull him and but you just kind of let it ride. If he gets going, then just let it ride.
I need to correct myself. He started 9 at Clemson last year and then 11 2 years ago. So he's had 20 starts all at Clemson under his belt. So this is a guy that has experience.
Yeah, and bottom line, he's got a sub-3 ERA in 20 appearances. So even if he were just to go, a couple scoreless innings, then that's so much better than what A&M's been getting on Friday night.
Absolutely. Look, just had to try something different. And again, wait a minute. But does it have to be Sadeo next out? Could it be Moss next out? Right? The way Moss has been pitching.
Right.
Could it be Gavin Lyons?
You've got all kinds of options, right? And then you want to keep one of those guys, I think, to start for Sunday.
The pool.
That's my guess. I would take one of those guys to start on Sunday.
Yeah, and you have the pool there now for Sunday, which could be Moss, Lyons, or Sadeo now, depending on what you do on Friday and Saturday.
I don't want to start Sadeo in any of these games. I want to give him the time off. I want to bring him. If I bring him in, I want to bring him out of the pen. I don't want to run him out there in the first inning this weekend.
All right, 100% agree with you. But if it's the 7th or 8th inning on Friday, are you going to worry about that when you need to choose Moss or Lyons if you've already thrown the other one? Fresh corn tide. I get it. I'm just saying, early coaches to win Friday, and then he'll coach to win Saturday, and Sunday will take care of itself.
Well, and I like that. That's certainly the way you coach in the postseason, right? At this point in the year where A&M is, I think if A&M goes 3-3, you're looking at 18-11. I think that's great odds of you hosting, get a top 8 seed. Ole Miss is not that great. They're a 500 team in conference play, but they're 24-6 at home. So they're pretty dang good at home, right? So you can't take them for granted by any means.
Yes, it's funny. If they go 3-3, please win 2 of those on the road. Get the bonus RPI.
Right. But,
weird.
Mississippi State's a better team. I get it. But I feel really good about where this team is.
So do I. They are an Omaha team. I think I've said this 100 times. They're an Omaha team with a C-plus level pitching. That's why these little things can mean so much.
Well, you just hope that doesn't come back to bite you, because we've seen this, and we talked about this. This is like A&M's never. We talked about this last week or the week before, that A&M's never had 3 first-rounders in any draft ever, and they really got a chance this year with the three offensive guys, Akopian and Grahovic and Sorrell, and they've got a great chance.
I looked at a mock draft this morning. It was The Athletic. So, you take it for that Hercopian going 11 to the Washington Nationals. He was the only one, but it was still Hercopian 11 to the Nationals. But I don't have any idea how Sorrell doesn't go 1 if he just stays on this pace.
Yeah, and prior to the season, Grahovic was not in there. But with the season he's having, come on. If I'm a major league team and I want an offensive, if I want a bat, I've got to look at those 2 guys. They're practically, they're Double-A ready for sure, and who knows how long they'll be in Double-A. To me, they're not that much different than where Florida was with Wyatt Langford, with both of them. And look how quickly Wyatt Langford was in the major leagues.
I know. And here's the thing: I'm a professional amateur NFL draft expert, but when it comes to MLB draft, and you got to evaluate high school kids into this, I'm out. I do not even try and fake the funk when it comes to MLB drafts.
And I'm totally against drafting high school players in the first round. I know there's been a lot of them that have panned out, but I just want guys who are pretty close to major league ready. I certainly don't want to draft a high school pitcher. I've just seen the too many arm injuries with these guys, and I just, too many times it doesn't work out. No.
But Aggie Baseball, I love where they're at, and just the fact they finally made a change, I feel even better about Aggie Baseball. And it's not an anti-Sadeo thing. It could be the greatest thing that happened to him for the rest of this, just for him, is to give him this break too.
Yeah, what you hope is that you give him a little break and then he comes back refreshed. We see it all the time. In Major League Baseball, where starter skips his turn. And so instead of 5 days rest, he pitches with 10 days rest, and it makes all the difference in the world.
And that rest can be as much mental as it is physical, too. When you're out there grinding and it's just not happening, it can be both.
Yep, absolutely.
Rusty, go be awesome. I know the Rangers have you captivated, and you're sitting there eating with people at Marymount, fancy bigwig stuff. So, hey, I'll check in with you next Thursday. Be awesome, brother.
Take care, buddy.
Later. Rusty Burson, Aggie Historian. Rusty Burson, he's an author too, joins us on the D4 Land Services each Thursday. We talk a lot of baseball. Trust me, Rusty and I are old school fools that way. D4 Land Services can fix your land, clear your land, help you with excavation. D4landservices.com. And when it comes to metal buildings, they do them custom from the ground up. Check out D4landservices.com. I'll be right back. We're not done. This is the Louie Bellina Show, Thursday on The Zone, presented by CC Electric.
Questions or comments about the Zone 1150 AM and 93.7 FM?
You suck.
Send your emails to louie@bryanbroadcasting.com.
We are almost, but we are not quite done with the Louie Bellina Show on a Thursday. Kind of hit up the rest of the world of my thoughts, or the rest of the world of sports, however you want to look at it. You've got time to hit me up with a text message or 979-693-1150. 979-693-1150. That's the Texas Mobile and Lube Express number. You can be a part of the Louie Bellina Show Monday through Friday. Texas Mobile and Lube Express, owned by Gabriel Garcia. 979-693-1150. Astros yesterday, day baseball. Heard it right here on The Zone. Thanks to Kelly Burdozer. I'm pretty sure yesterday was the worst day of the year for the Astros. This is part of the worst week of the year for the Astros. 12-2, Dodgers destroyed them. It was horrible. Lance McCullers started, gave up 6 runs in 2 2/3, and the story, broken fingernail. And he stayed in, but he couldn't throw his curve, which was one of his main pitches, and it was just bad. They brought in Jason Alexander, who they just called up, and they threw him out there to absorb innings. It didn't matter how he pitched, and he gave up 5 and 4 1/3. And here's your 2 highlight moments if you're an Astros. They actually led the game 1-0, end of 1. Bryce Matthews hit a homer in the bottom of the first. Leadoff homer. First batter for the Stros. That was it. Nope. Enyos de los Santos threw a scoreless inning. So they lose 12-2. Get destroyed. Lance McCullers, broken fingernail. They're not sure where it's going to go from here. Like, is he going to have to miss time? Does he actually have to go on the IL for that? But, and it's not like this devastating injury, but he can't throw. He can't grip right with a broken fingernail. And that's 3 straight days. BP, Diaz Monday. BP out for the Correa Tuesday. Fingernail, Lance McCullers leads the game on Wednesday, 12-2. Travel day for the Astros. Ooh, it's getting ugly. Ime is going to return to the Astros rotation for no other reason than who else is going to throw. He was supposed to make 1 rehab start. It was so bad they gave him a second. It was just as bad, but it just doesn't matter at this point. He is this is what Dana Brown said, that he's going to start sometime during the Seattle series. If they're going to keep him on his 5-day rest, Monday. Now, they don't have to, and gosh knows that there's only like 4 slots. Other than Spencer Arrighetti, he could start any other day for the Stros, but if they keep him on 5 days rest, it'll be Monday against Seattle. So today is the off day for the Stros, 13 consecutive games. I mentioned this to Rusty. I hope you caught this, but the Astros went from a 6-man rotation to a 5-man rotation, and 2 of those are bullpen games. And this is every 5 days. That is their rotation. It is rough. The Rangers beat the Yankees yesterday 6-1. Corey Seager goes yard. Evan Carter goes yard. 7th of the year for Seager, 4th of the year for Carter, and and Nathan Eovaldi was magical, brilliant last year. 8 innings, only 3 hits and a run. 101 pitches. You don't just see that very often anymore whatsoever. The 2 teams are playing now. Day baseball, rubber game. Can the Rangers take a series from the Yankees? Let me get you a scoring update. I feel like an idiot because never mind. I shouldn't give it to you. Rusty's depressed right now. 5-2 Yankees, bottom of 6. That accelerated quickly. This was 1-1 mid-5. Wow. In the past 20 minutes, this accelerated quickly. 5-2 Yankees, bottom of 6 currently. A couple other notes for you. Updated win total projections and compared to before the first game of the year. And this is by analytical expert type people. 84 wins for the Rangers. That will be just short. They have a 53.3% chance of making the playoffs. And I think it was ESPN.com. I'll give them credit. I never, it's not mine, I don't steal, but ESPN.com did one thing that must change for every team. And for the Rangers, it's simple. Retooled offense looking like last year's offense. Yeah, we know that. Rangers need more offense. And yeah, you'll know where the Astros are going. Astros, before the season started, were an 84 win team, 85. They're currently projected to win 77. They have a 16.7% chance to make the playoffs. And one thing that must change, worst pitching in the majors. They have the worst ERA in baseball, and they're on pace to set an all-time record for most walks in a season. And they could shatter it in August. It's bad. We know it's bad. The end. It's pretty bad. ESPN.com updated for today. Power rankings. Rangers 14, Astros 16. That's a lie. Rangers 14, Houston Astros are 26. Thank you. Top 5, Dodgers 1, Yankees 2, Braves 3. I disagree. I really disagree with that, actually. I'd have Braves 1, Yankees 2, Dodgers 3, regular season edition. Cubs are 4. Oh, Cubs are rolling. The Chicago Cubs, America's team. Chicago Cubs, I love them with a passion. Have won 3 straight games in walk-off fashion. It's been pretty epic. Tampa Rays are 5. Here's your 3 worst teams. The Tony Vitello-led Giants are 28, Angels 29, and somebody hug Matt Simon. The Colorado Rockies are number 30. Familiar faces in there. The Angels are always hovering bottom 3, and so are the Rock Pile. Giants are newbies. And it's kind of weird when you look there and you don't see the Chicago White Sox. Am I right? 979-693-1150. 979-693-1150. You can light up the Texas Mobile and Lube Express inbox. A little bit of sprint to the finish. We're going to switch from the diamond to the gridiron. NFL. A true testament, I think, to the power of the popularity of the NFL. Who remembers the NFL draft last year? They did that bizarre thing where they had like one person from the NFL Network and ESPN. They made a major NFL scheduling announcement, and it was announcing the date of the NFL schedule announcement. It was truly weird, but they had everyone anticipated. The date was highlighted. And, all media outlets were on alert. And the schedule announcement date came, and people... the NFL has no offseason. It is one big publicity hype machine. And the way they do their NFL, the schedule announcement, like a Thursday or Wednesday, and every day leading up to that date, they release parts of it. It's brilliant. Oh, they're so good. We don't know when it's going to be released. We know it's going to be in May. But they didn't actually tell us when. Some people think May 12th, some think May 14th, but it's so bizarre. But that's a story that's now getting the NFL more coverage, is we don't know. That's the power and draw it has, is not knowing is a story now versus when they told us and we did know, and that was a story too. The universe cannot get enough NFL. I say this, I think it was The Athletic, CBS Sports. I've seen it just mentioned, we don't have a date, and that's the cover story. Speculating, guessing. We got to know. We got to know our schedule. I love it. For the record, I just absolutely love it. If you want to see something analytically progressive, and it's something that falls in line with the people I tend to talk to, you can take the NFL draft and break it down by money. And The Athletic assigned NFL draft grades to each team, but not by the standard equation. What they do is called surplus value. The actual on-field value a prospect has relative to their rookie contract salary. Team fit this is a quote from them. Team fit matters, of course, but at the end of the day, premium positions don't hit free agency very often. Teams need to find cornerstone pieces. To expand on surplus value, take the difference between the NFL's 5 highest paid edge rushers and its 5 highest paid running backs. When you factor in the cost against a rookie contract, using high picks on premium positions not only saves money against the cap, it also provides a ton of roster flexibility. In-depth, super geek, surplus value, actually looking at the draft in a way that makes sense. And then they assign draft grades based upon actual value of the picks. It's awesome stuff. Now, I'm going to shortcut this for you. Looking at draft grades, looking at the actual value of the positions, and then where you took them in the draft, things that actually make sense. Browns and Jets got an A+. Pittsburgh Steelers got an A-. The Dallas Cowboys were widely praised by your CBS, ABC, ESPN, Fox, PFF, with it, one of the top 4 or 5. They got a C because of the way they screwed up the positional and the surplus. Cowboys got a C. And the Houston Texans, And it was something I was trying to hit on. How what they did didn't hurt them for need, but it was unnecessary. Taking a second round pick in the first round and trading up to do some of the stuff they did. Got an F. Straight up F. They were one of 5 teams that surplus value. Bears got an F. Jaguars got an F. Seahawks got an F. Cardinals got an F. Texans got an F too. And again, when you see things like this, is surplus value a thing? Does it have a real impact? It's another way at looking at the equation, and you could take it. Again, I always say this, what it's worth. You believe, don't believe, but they explain their methodology, and they explained it in trade value. Remember the other day when we were talking about the slot value, like the first overall pick, Mendoza's worth $57 million, and the last pick of the entire draft is $4 million. So you know the slot value of like everything. And we're talking about the lifetime of the contract. So if a team traded for the first pick for the last pick, you'd lose $53 million value. Surplus value. Texans got an F. Cowboys got a C. Browns and Jets were the only teams to get an A+. I have fun. More data, good. When we come back, done. Got to say bye. It's the Louie Bellina Show. Thursday, I'm inside the Charles Schwab studio. When we come back, final thoughts. In uncertain times, Charles Schwab remains invested in their clients by offering personalized guidance and clarity. And it's personalized because Mark Sim is our local Schwab agent. He is the local Schwab office, and he's right here in College Station, local. Get answers to your questions. Learn more at schwab.com/College Station. The Louie Bellina Show on the Zone. I'll be right back.
Pumping sunshine or drinking haterade. It's never boring.
Are you ready?
The Louie Bellina Show. 11 to 2 on the Zone.
The Louie Bellina Show. Oh, thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for being a part. This has been an awesome day. Had fun first hour. We were talking Aggie Baseball and Maroon and White Notebook. A lot of Johnny Manziel. Look, if you missed any part of the Louie Bellina Show, you're busy, didn't wake up in time, whatever. The Louie Bellina Show, we podcast every hour of every day of every week. And you can get them, well, on the website, zone1150.com. You'll see Pod Center. Just click it. It's easy from there. Also, every single place that you get your podcast, like in the Apple Store, Google Play, Spotify. They're even on YouTube. Yep, you can listen to them on YouTube. Wherever you get podcasts, zone1150.com, Google Play, in the Apple Store, and YouTube, you can get the Louie Bellina Show podcast every hour of every day of every week. They're up there. So if you missed anything, but hour number one, again, we talked a lot of Aggie Baseball, Maroon and White Notebook, and a lot of Johnny Manziel. Hour 2, we had Cedric Golden, Longhorns, and then we fixed the college football. Actually, we just talked about the college football playoff and the college football calendar. And then we had Rusty Burson, Astros, Rangers, Major League Baseball, and more Aggie Baseball. I'm going to leave you with this from the lifestyles portion of the Louie Bellina Show. We're going to have some fun with this, but I love music. I started off as an FM DJ, got fired. True story. The good old days. But music's, I go to concerts, used to, all the time. I mean, music, it means a lot to me. So AMC theaters are going to start showing live concerts. This struck me as brilliant. You know, you get a good theater, great speakers. The tickets aren't cheap. In the early offerings, their first venture in, it's called Arena One at AMC. And think about it. What if the artist is not coming to your area? What if you don't want to sit outside at the Woodlands in August, 190, and drive and park, and you see where but Arena One at AMC, live concerts in the movie theater. The cheapest is $40. The most expensive is going to be $75. So it's not the cheapest alternative. Now, this is all going to start next month. Here's the first 3 artists they've announced. BB Rexa on June 17th. I think Jeanette is a big BB Rexa fan. Has all of, is that a him or a her? And then Paris Hilton. And that's where I said timeout. What is Paris Hilton performing? Does she have new music out? Like, so if the cheapest is $40 up to $75, are they wanting this to fail so they never have to do it again? Who's going to pay $40? I'm going with the cheapest ticket in the house to see Paris Hilton. Now, it didn't say music, right? It just said in concert. What is a Paris Hilton concert? And then Maureen Moore. So I know that she's an actual artist, right? On June 20th. Now, is this the exact lineup to launch this new service and see if people want it? And $40 is the cheapest one and up to $75. And this is the lineup they roll out? Now, any real artist, I'll say Taylor Swift. People have heard of her, right? Why would you want to sell movie ticket theaters at $40 to $75 where your cheapest probably concert live ticket's like $500 to get in, and then the merch too? So I don't know how this would work. Things that fascinate me because music does too. Peace. Back tomorrow at 11.